You guys. This gets their attention. Butter. Over here. I believe everybody is meant to prosper. Sit. I don't think anybody was put on earth to be poor, to be sick, to be the victim of abuse. There's a verse in the Bible that says, "Beloved, I would that you would prosper in all things and be in good health, even as your soul prospers." So to me, the journey to prosperity for all of us, regardless of how much money we have in our bank account, is what does it mean for our soul to prosper? I believe God gave me a gift to be able to communicate persuasively that makes people change their behavior, or want something that they didn't want before, or have a new idea or belief, or to buy a product or a service. We have the opportunity to influence no matter what we're doing, whether we're a doctor or a pastor or a social worker, or any job, any role in life, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom or you're a caretaker. It helps financial prosperity, of course. That's in the business sense, but it helps our souls to prosper, our spirits to prosper, our relationships, and to be successful at writing copy is adding value to the world, and it's a lot more than just making money. I was kind of a weirdo because I liked getting the junk mail. Everybody would keep the bills and throw away the junk mail. I'd be getting the junk mail out of the trash and no, don't throw that away, that's good stuff. I spent a lot of time at my grandparents' when I was younger in Southeast Kentucky. I used to love to go to the house, and my grandmother had these newspapers. I thought they were newspapers. I've later found out they were the National Enquirer and the Weekly World News. And I read these incredible articles in these newspapers that were about things like Chinese medicine that could cure anything without drugs. As I got older, I finally figured out these are ads. I discovered there was this famous copywriter from the 50s and 60s named Eugene Schwartz, who had written all those ads that I loved. He sold books for like 10 times their retail price in a newspaper where you had to clip out a coupon and fill it out and write a check and stick it in an envelope and mail it in to get your book that you paid 10 times the price for. I thought, that's an amazing magical power that I need to have. I teach a lot of people how to write copy now. I'm Ray Edwards. I'm a copywriter and marketing consultant, and I'd like to send you a free copy of this book, How to Write Copy That Sells. And I tell them, those who write copy with the right heart and the right intent are showing people a better future. They're showing potential customers, your life could be better if you buy this product or you enlist this service to help you grow or solve a problem. And this is the better life that you could enjoy. And I think that's important work. I think we need to own the fact that what we create is valuable. Lynn. There's a line from a song, I can't remember who the artist was, but the lyric says, "God made you because he's in love with me." That's Lynn. I first saw my wife in a play. I went there on a date with a high school girlfriend, and I saw this woman in the lead of that play, and I thought, I like her a lot. And shortly thereafter, I ended up working at the radio station where I didn't know this at the time. She also worked at that radio station. She was on the AM station, I was on the FM station. And I was enamored with her, and I believe what happened was I pestered her until she finally agreed to go out with me.
And the rumor is he would look at my legs when I wore dresses to work. I didn't know that. I'd constructed a mental list of all the things that the guy in my life had to do, and he was consistently ticking them off, and it was kind of freaking me out.
I had graduated from high school by that time, so at least I was legal to date. She was a little older than me, and a couple years later, we were married. It was about a year later we had our son, and I continued to work in radio. She did not, and built a career, built a life in Knoxville, Tennessee. My wife and my son are, for me, the fulfillment of every goal that matters that I really had in life. And I love them like life itself. And one of the greatest pleasures I've really ever experienced is, I think, something every father dreams of working alongside his son in a family business. And so Sean and I own a coffee shop together, which has been great for our relationship. Not always easy, but it's deepened our relationship. It's improved our communications. We've become closer. And I know from my own childhood experience, things are not always easy, but my adult life has been better than I ever could have dreamed. So it was May of 2011, and I was at a conference, and I was taking notes, and I noticed that I wasn't able to keep up. Like, my brain would think what I was supposed to write, and I couldn't write it fast enough. And I also noticed my handwriting was getting smaller and smaller. So I did what anybody would do. When I got back to the hotel room, I Googled it. And first thing that came up was the Michael J. Fox Foundation's website saying, this is a symptom of Parkinson's disease. I didn't really believe that. Came home and talked to my family physician about it. And he said, well, you're much too young to have Parkinson's. I was 45 years old at the time. But he said, I'll make you an appointment with a neurologist just to set your mind at ease. You probably have an impinged nerve in your shoulder, because I had a lot of shoulder pain as well. And I went and saw the neurologist, and I was in her office for 5 minutes, and she said, well, you have Parkinson's. And I was like, just shocked. My wife was with me. We were both shocked. She described what would happen as a result of having Parkinson's. She told me it's degenerative, it's progressive, it's incurable, which means it just gets worse, and you'll eventually need a lot of help. You'll maybe be in a wheelchair, maybe 7, 10 years, 15 years. Short time span. It was not a very promising prognosis.
Then things started to, settle in. You start realizing it. I tried not to read anything about it. All my information came from Ray. He had some down days.
I was angry with God. I was disappointed. I was like, why is this happening? Ran away, took our motorhome into the Glacier National Park and stayed there for a while, where it was cold and rainy in October, which is the perfect weather if you want to go somewhere and be depressed. That's the perfect environment in which to do it.
Make my way down through this weary bay. I start to stare. What am I doing? I should be standing strongly and firmly, grabbing my chair.
And we went down to Redding, California, to Bethel Church, where I was prayed for many times. Still not healed. I was prayed for by the main guy, like the healing guy, not healed. And I was really in a place of like feeling like the victim. And my wife sat me down one day in the motorhome. I'll never forget this conversation. She said, I need to have a talk with you. Now, she'll tell this differently, but this is what I remember her saying. You need to pull your head out of your ass.
This can't keep going. We need you. I need you. We need you to step back up to who you were, is basically what I feel like I remember saying. So then, Ray gets invited to speak something in Reading where Chris Valentin also was, and he was giving prophetic words, and he asked Ray to stand up, and he said, I feel like you are a captain of a ship and you have not been in charge of the ship. The ship needs you. You need to come back. It sounds awful. Shouldn't have had that response.
And I'd like to say that I immediately saw the light and changed my ways, but it took a little longer than that. But it was really a splash of cold water in the face that made me realize, well, I've got a choice to make. To become bitter and remain bitter and question God, or to accept that maybe He knows more than I know. I think life is made up of detours. We have a plan for how things are going to work out, and it hardly ever works out that way for anybody. Beloved, I would that you would prosper in all things and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. What does it mean for our soul to prosper? And you know, our soul is our mind, our will, our emotions. I think that's where we come to a place of contentment and also seeking to make things better at the same time. So it's not a matter of working or striving to be successful and happy. It's being happy while you're striving. It's about happily working toward your goals. And that's really prosperity. Becoming more successful is not going to make me a better person. But being a better person would make me successful.